Hey there guys, Lord Frigid here with the 13th episode of Aether Raid's Offense. You probably noticed that I did take a week off last week, and that was for two reasons. One, I just didn't really feel like going through it all, and it's not like I do this for a living, so yeah. The other reason is that literally all of my battles were just sent in the Fae raiding party, and Fae's cool and all, but I feel like you see enough of her. So I just didn't feel like that it would be terribly interesting. So yeah, I'm back now though for the first Astra season where we have Naga available. I did end up pulling a pair of Nagas, so I will be showcasing those raiding parties. I did need to restructure my raiding party setup to actually play around her, and it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting. So we'll go ahead and just get right into these battles here, and I hope you enjoy them. So the first map up is a traditional flyer ball setup, and it's setups like this, the flyer ball ones, that made me realize, wow, I really like having a raiding party centered around a bow. And I mean, obviously I've got Faye, but I really thought Faye was great just because she was such a phenomenal range tank. It didn't quite occur to me that, yeah, her being a bow is actually incredibly important to why she's so good. So the first few battles of the season, I actually didn't have a raiding party with a bow in it, and eventually I realized, okay, yeah, I really need to build one of these because they're just so good. So I took George out of my barracks, brushed off the dust because I haven't used him in for freaking ever, fed him a spare Roy, legendary Roy, for a bonus doubler, and I'm rolling with that now. So that's actually the raiding party that I used for this map. But before I get into that, I'm going to discuss the weaknesses that I see. The first is up in the top right corner, the Dark Shrine spot. That's a spot where you can place a ranged tank, and they will take a hit from Hinoka and probably Gunthra. And what's going to happen is Est is going to rally, duh. Unless your ranged tank takes at least 5 damage from Azura, Azura is going to refresh Est. And if your ranged tank takes 5 damage from Azura, then cool, I guess. Then Azura will attack instead, and you'll be able to pick her off. So that's a good way to take out up to 2 of the backline units without actually engaging a lot of the enemy. If you could also theoretically break the tactics room, and that would make Olivia come over and attack instead of refreshing. So actually, that's probably a better idea, because then what you do is you'd break the tactics room, stick your unit up in the top right corner. Est would refresh Azura, and Azura would probably... did I say Est would refresh Azura? I meant Est would rally Azura. My mistake. Sorry. Est rallies Azura, Azura refreshes Est, and then Olivia attacks your unit, which means that all of the refreshing power went to units who aren't even going to be able to reach you. So end result is Hinoka attacks you, Olivia attacks you, Hinoka dies, and Gunthra, Yoon, and Est kind of just wander around, and Azura is stuck up in the corner. So that's weakness point number 1. Weakness point number 2 is just below the tactics room. This is actually a spot that I can see combining well with weakness point number 1. Weakness point number 2 is a great spot to have a ranged unit just snipe Gunthra. There's no trap. It's easy to reach. You can have an infantry unit attack that spot as long as you take out the tactics room first. So you could take out the tactics room, then snipe Gunthra, then put your unit up in the right-hand corner and just wait for things to happen. So that eliminates those 2 spots, especially when used in tandem, are very, 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 very powerful places that you can exploit here if you come up against a map like this. The third weakness is right below the healing tower. That's a good spot to take out 2 of the 3 ranged units. As I mentioned before, Est will start off by rallying someone, whether it's Yoon or Azura, I'm not sure. I guess if you KO Yoon from that spot, then she's obviously going to rally Azura. Or possibly Hinoka. Never really considered that. Anyway, but it's a good spot to take out up to 2 of the enemy ranged units. Of course, if you don't take out Gunthra first, she might trap you in there, but that's the risk you run. And maybe your tank is equipped to take it. So if they are, great. Perfect, even. So those are the weaknesses I noticed. Just stuff to keep in mind if you run into a map like this. And without further ado, let me go ahead and get into how I ended up approaching it. So I'm thinking this is definitely a map for the George raiding party, and what I'm going to do, the approach I'm going to take is walk up the right-hand side here, and in that process, I will basically just eventually reach the point where I can take out Gunthra and then refresh George, and then take out Est, and that will rob most of the offensive potential on this team. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start advancing here. I do need to have someone in range to kind of soak up this Hikami.
What's next?
So I will make sure to not have George do that. I'll probably have George here and then just smite him up and have Seth eat it or something like that. So we will see how I end up handling that. Actually, Naga might be able to do it. She's in a pretty good position for it as well. So I'll just go ahead and do this here. Oh, actually, I probably could have put Seth up here right now, and Leanne up here. Oh well. An opportunity missed then. Okay. I believe what did George get hit by here? What is that? Debuff -7. I was chill speed from someone. Okay, you. Oh, it's your natural B passive. Of course it came from you. Okay, what turn is it? 3. Alright, so
What?
where do I need Leanne? I want Leanne to be in range to fresh. Actually, wait. I can just smite her up here.
Yes.
So I can try this. Let me see if I can get anywhere with this. And if not, well, I can just move George back 2 spaces.
Of course.
Oh, you have IOs? Oh, you do. Okay.
What's next?
Fortunately, I have the speed to take you out between Naga's chill speed, support, and bonus doubler. So you don't have IOs. Okay, good. And then I'm pretty sure I can do that.
What's next?
And what I'll do is I'll take out Gunthra, and then simply refresh George, and walk over and shoot down Est. And that will block Yoon from reaching Leanne. Even if it didn't, I could always reposition her. And then what I should see is everyone except Olivia just kind of dies. So we'll get that going. There's no rallies involved, so yeah, and she does absolutely nothing. Alright, I like that. I like that a lot. And George has his miracle up now, so that's good. Just a little bit of a fail-safe there. Let's see. I think now what I need to do is bump you up here. Reposition you. Good choice. That was real. 10 damage. Okay. Okay. And that is the end of this map. Ooh. Alright, so this is the second map, and you can tell that this guy obviously just kind of slapped together legendaries and Dumas in order to maximize his lift loss reduction. But he did it in just about the most obnoxious way possible. Like 2 legendary Azura, 2 legendary Alm, 2 upheavals on Duma. It's why? But enough about that. Let's take a look at what I see as far as weaknesses for this map. I see 2 kind of spots here. There's one, the spot highlighted in orange is something that you'll be able to take advantage of if you have a pretty specific unit type. The spot highlighted in red is a weakness that I think a lot of raiding parties should be able to take advantage of. There are unfortunately some conditions associated with it, and I'll get into those later. But first, I think I'll talk about the orange spaces. Now, those 2 spaces are an excellent place to put a Vantage tank. There's no rally trap, there's no hardy bearing. You just stick in your Vantage tank and wait for them to all kill themselves. It's pretty nice if you have a Vantage tank capable of that. So yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory, and not really a whole lot to say about that one. The other one's a little trickier. The weakness spot that's on the Panic Manor. That is a space where you will be able to aggro the AI by sniping Duma, And then you will have the option of retreating, for mostly retreating. You'll need to use a refresher, obviously, or I guess you could just leave them there, but safer if you use a refresher and then reposition your refresher out. And the reason this works is here is the maximum threat range of this map. And that occurs when the bottom Alm moves down 2 spaces and breaks that block. Then he'll get refreshed by the aerobatics Azura 2 spaces above him, and this lilac shaded area is his new threat range. Now, no other unit is going to be able to meet or exceed that threat range. Well, there is a caveat, and I'll talk about that. But as you can see, there's 4 spaces that are completely untouchable by him, or at least 4 spaces on my map. There's obviously more if your setup down there at the bottom looks different. But you can easily make your entire team just completely safe, except for one unit, the one who sniped Duma from over the Dusk Shrine, and just take a round with Alm. And as long as they can do that and not put Alm below half HP, at which point the top left Azura would use Wings of Mercy to reach him and refresh him again for another action, which would probably be pretty deadly, then you're good to go. So that's what I see as far as weaknesses on this map. Unfortunately, that one with the Panic Manor, the one that I think is more likely to be exploitable for most people, does have some conditions tied to it. But it is still a very valid weak spot on this map. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get into my own personal approach. Alright, so this guy is just begging me to Vantage tank his map, so far be it from me to deny him that. I need to put a Naga here, and I think I can actually just initiate immediately on turn 1. These Dumas don't have armored boots, so it's going to be pretty trivial to just go in and then afterwards just get right out. What I'll do is I will break this, refresh May, have her walk up 1 space and just smite her in, right? Or maybe I can have her walk up 2. It's probably better that way. So yeah, no rallies or anything either. So 1, 2. Okay, that was real. Whatever, doesn't really matter. Let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and put that here. And the upheavals should put her in Vantage range now. And immediately everyone who attacks her or tries just dies. That was nice. I am now free to... Can Seth do this? Oh, he can. What a guy. Alright, and I'll just break that, and move up here, and have her break this Tactics room. And I don't know, I probably could just leave that Naga down in the corner, it doesn't even matter. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Well, actually, Azura can break this because that was the other heavy trap that May hit was real. Yeah, Seth can do it. Why not let him? All right. So this is a job for the Sita raiding party. I'm going to go ahead and get raiding here. And what I'm going to do is have my units in position to initiate on turn 1, ideally. And break that. Okay, successful.
Of course.
So now I can move Sita up here. And that's going to be real, obviously, since the other one's fake. Might not be here. Get some that code stack. And Erica should attack Sita, but not be able to deal a whole lot of damage. And of course, Azura cannot actually refresh anything. So that's good. So that's very good. I'm gonna go ahead and move back here and get a heal off.
Yes. Best
And
wishes.
this will allow me to get defensive buffs up on Sita.
What next?
Looks like Tiki's going after Naga. That's fine. No armor boots. So turn her up. Can keep her trying to come this way. And now this is where it's going to get a little bit interesting. Actually, wait. 55, 60 attack versus Azura's 63 attack.
Of course.
And even if she didn't have Heavy Blade active, there's always Gale Force. So this Bolt Jab is real. So I kind of want to stay away from it.
Let's go.
So instead, I'll just walk back, refresh Sita,
Let's go.
take out this Bolt Tower, and Azura definitely does not have the capability to KO Fjorm. In fact, Fjorm might KO her.
What is your desire?
And I will go ahead and walk back here with Nagas. So I believe, yes, Azura does attack and does get KO'd. And then Duma gets wiped out by Sita completely. And that leaves me free to
Yes.
bump you up here, I think.
Careful.
And then I can do that.
Certainly.
Take this out.
Best wishes.
I'll go ahead and
What is your desire? It will be done.
bump you up there. I believe Tiki is probably gonna... Oh, she returned to this Naga. Thought she was...
Yes.
I got mixed... I got my Nagas mixed up. Although actually, maybe I didn't.
What
Anyway,
next?
doesn't really matter because now I just do this. Actually, Azura probably could have taken her out. Yeah, her speed was terrible.
Yes.
Oh well, doesn't really matter. And that's that map.